Hello, dear students. This is Vijay Patole, Assistant Professor in Right Section Samsas Swami Sajananda Bharati College of Education, Sri Rampur. Dear student, today we have to learn about B.Ed course and the subject of it, that is English education. In this one, we will study today the role of English language. In this first slide, you will observe that India is home to several hundred languages, and so that many Indians are there. They speak different languages, and the red color, the region which is colored by red, it is Hindi. Means the speakers from these regions, they speak Hindi language, whereas the yellow color, which denotes that regional language is spoken over there, and these are the some regions where English is as a regional language. Means you will see that there are different languages are spoken in India. When we see about the importance of English language, and it is also said that language is flesh and blood of our culture. Means the citizen who lives in his country and his language is flesh and blood for their own culture, and it is from the word, the language which is derived from the Latin word lingua, which means or which implies tongue. With the help of tongue, we speak different languages. As far as language, the definition of language is concerned, O. Jefferson has stated or defined about the language. Language is a set of human habits, the purpose of which is to give expression to thoughts and feelings, and especially to impart them to others. Means whatever habits we have, whatever purposes we have, whatever thoughts we have, we like to use with the help of these literary terms. Then it is the way of expression. It is the way of expression. In the words of Sweet, language is the expression of ideas by means of which speech sounds are combined into words, words are combined into sentence, and combination of sentence gives answering to ideas and thoughts. Means language is the expression of ideas by means which speech sounds are combined into words. Then when the words combine each other, then there is formation of sentence, and when we do combine these sentences for answering our ideas and our thoughts, means it related to our tongue. When we focus about India or the place of English before independence, in the words of Raj Gopalacharya, he described that English language is the greatest gift of Goddess Saraswati to India. The Goddess of Saraswati, known for knowledge, or known for Vidya, and English language is the greatest gift. Means he was not against of English culture, English language, but he himself says that it is the gift, or not ordinary gift, but the greatest gift of Goddess Saraswati to India. The place of English before independence, you may see that blue in color, it was empire of Britishers in India, and it was before the independence. The place of English before independence, the queen of all languages, and medium of instruction at different level. Means Although there are many languages, and before independence of India, this language was the queen of all languages, English language. And medium of instruction at different level means Britishers came to India for the purpose of trade and commerce, but through missionaries they established many schools, then primary schools and colleges where they kept English as an instruction of language, so that in those years Englishmen were there, those who were teaching English in various schools which were established by Britishers. And introduction of English from the day of the schooling, when students were admitted in the schools or in the schools where first introduction or at the first day students were about to learn English. And let's focus on the first period, that is 1765 to 1830. Everyone knows, and you are well versed with the Indian history. That is, in 1757, the Battle of Plassey. Okay, it took place, and after that battle, the situation began to change. Means we can see the radical changes after this battle, and after that, traders found themselves in the position of rulers. Means for the purpose of trades and commerce, all the Britishers they came to India, and after winning this battle, they were trying to have the battles between two empires, and they began and they found themselves in the position of rulers. Means they stuck to the regions of India, and for this purpose only they want to develop their business, and for this purpose they want to communicate with Indian people and with the traders from India, so that they have decided to open educational institutions to win the people. Because you may say that India in this century was not united one. There were provinces, and after that they were trying to attract the attention of Indian people by opening educational institutions, and in 1781 Calcutta Madras started. You may see this is the picture from Battle of Plassey, took place in 1757, and this building was known as Calcutta Madrasa College. And after that, in 1791, Banaras Sanskrit College, and this was a Banaras Sanskrit College which was started by the Britishers in those days. In second period, this period is known from 1813 to 1834, and there was increased demand for the teaching of English, because Britishers had started teaching of English in various schools and colleges and various parts of the country, so that there was demand of teaching of English. And to meet this demand, Raja Mohan Roy, then Radhakrishna Dev and David Hare established Hindu College in 1817, and this was Hindu College which was established in 1817. And for this establishment of this college, Rajaram Mohan Roy, then Radhakrishna Dev and David Hare came together to form this college, to establish this college, because there was more demand of teaching of English. And in next year, that is in 1818, Serampur College opened by the missionaries, because when tradesmen they entered in India, when Britishers came to India for the purpose of trade and commerce, in the same way missionaries have entered in various part of the country, that is in India, and they have established many schools as well as college for the spreading of knowledge of English as well as for the spreading their religion, that is Christianity, in India. And third period, it was also known as the period in which it was the period between 1832 to 1853, where many Britishers were there who set many rules regarding education. And this one, Lord Macaulay was there, and his minute was very famous, and he strongly recommended that the spread for Western learning could only be possible through the medium of English language. Means Lord Macaulay strongly believed that whatever knowledge is over there in western part of the country, western part of the world, it should be brought here, and we should, or as a Britishers, we should spread the knowledge of English among the people of India, because their Western knowledge has good bank of knowledge, and all the subjects were there, and so that for bringing such type of knowledge we need to establish, or we need to adopt medium of English language. So that means in India there were many languages, and it was impossible to teach everything into their mother tongue, because there was lack of books, lack of content, and so that they believed that Lord Macaulay believed that it will be possible only when we adopt English medium. After that, in 1854, Wood's dispatch was famous, and it is described as Magna Carta of English education in India. A number of schools and colleges began to improve by leaps and bounds. Means Wood's dispatch, and he himself decided that there is a great need of opening school and colleges, and so that we have to spread the knowledge of English among the people of India. And after that, Calcutta University Commissions formed in 1919, and the aim of this Calcutta University Commission was to maintain the unity of India and touch with the other countries. Educated classes must be bilingual. Means by transferring the knowledge of English among the people of India, there will be great chance of uniting India, and they will have the contact with rest countries of the world, and whatever educated people will be there, they will be bilingual, or they must be bilingual. Means they should learn, they should speak English as well as Hindi, or whatever their original language is there, but they must be bilingual. There is certain question is asked: why did English occupy prominent place in educational system of India? See, very important question. These are the reasons. The language of the rulers. Means Britishers ruled over India almost 150 years, and so that it was the language of rulers, and it is also vivid that history tells that every subject nation wants to learn the language of its masters. Means from Muslim we learn Persian and Arabic, same by Britishers. Means although English was a language of rulers, but they tried to learn Persian and Arabic, and so that they introduced these two languages in India also. And policy of British. What was the policy? Divide and rule was the policy of Britishers, so that in India they found themselves that in India there is casteism, caste systems are there, then different religions are there, different tradition customs are there, and so that they wanted to create two classes of person in India, that is English speaking and non-English speaking people. Means it was what we say, the policy of Britishers divide and rule. Means they were very known to this fact that India can be easily divided. Okay, or we can divide these people from each other, and so that they wanted to create the class that is English speaking and non-English speaking. So that this was the reason. And in this one, Lord Macaulay, the intention of Lord Macaulay was we should form a class of persons Indian in blood and color, but English in opinions, in morals and in intellect. Means it was the indirect view, indirect aim of Lord Macaulay by transmitting English language through the schools and colleges, that he wanted to create such a class, because where Indians will be there, Indians are there, but apart from their blood and color, apart from their color, although they are were Indians, but we have to make them Englishmen in opinions, in morals and intellect one. Means it was the intention of Lord Macaulay. And third reason was that language of the state. Means there were different states in India and different provinces were in India, and all official work had to be done in English language itself only. For all administrative jobs, clerical posts were open for those who had knowledge of English. Means the importance was given, much importance was given to the English language by the Britishers, and they made it mandatory for any administrative job, for any government service. We want the person who is well versed in English language or who possesses good knowledge of English. And the fourth reason was language of the code. Actually, right now or in present, we are also following the code decided by the Britishers. And language of the code, judges and magistrates wrote and announced their decisions in English. Means in those days, all the judges and magistrates were instructed that you need to write and announce whatever decisions you take, but they should be written and announced in English language itself, so that everyone places cases in English. There was no scope for regional language or any Indian language in court, and all judicial record were kept in English language only. But right now we do found that even at present situation, whatever syllabus of law is concerned, it is already in English language and it is also drafted in English itself. But right now they have started using of Hindi and using of regional language, and in Maharashtra we can see Marathi also. Marathi is used by advocates and magistrates, even by the judges. Fifth reason was there, the language of communication. And in those days, it was the status point that one who speaks good English, he has a good status. Or speaking of English is the mark of greatness. And in those days, highly placed officers and aristocratic families talked and corresponded in English language. Means in initial way, Lord Macaulay just he introduced education policy over there, and he wanted that Lord Macaulay's percolation theory was so famous, and he wanted that all rich men or rich people should try to teach all the deprived people, poor people, and with the help of this teaching, they will also maintain their standard and they will be the part of aristocratic family. But this aristocratic family stuck to their own principles and they didn't teach to the lower people, poor people, and so that these people were using English language for their communication in speaking and even in their writing also. The sixth reason was the language of the trade and industry. Means in these provinces, businessmen and merchants were living, and for the purpose of their correspondence and for the correspondence between or among themselves, they used only English language, and English language became the language of trade and industry. And these are the things where all the businessmen and merchants were giving the jobs for well-learned persons from the various part of the country. And seventh reason is international language. It is the mother tongue of 300 million people. You may see that means there are seven continents, and these continents different countries are there where this is the mother tongue of 30 million people, and it is the first language, or we may say that it is the mother tongue of United Kingdom, that is England, then USA, United States of America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Means these are 8 countries where English is spoken as a mother tongue of these countries. And right now we may say that for India, Russia, France and Pakistan, English is second language. Okay, in this picture you may see that 39 countries where English is an official language, 39 countries are there, and 17 countries where English is second language. Okay, English is second language, and right now it is the language of 700 million people, and it is the 6th official language of that is United Nations Organization, and linked language of Commonwealth countries, and this English language is used for international politics, trade, commerce, industry. Only in the world, only 10% people follow English, and 50% reading material is printed through newspapers and various periodicals. And if we try to figure, then 75% mails are available in English language, and this language has really broken the barriers among the nations. Right now every country is following English language. The next reason is that the language of national importance. India also maintained the social, political, commercial and friendly relations with the help of this English language. Means whatever social issues are there, whatever political issues are there, then commercial and friendly relations for maintaining these ones, and language, English language become the language of national importance. Right now English is used widely in India. And ninth one, that is window to science and technology. Means changes in scientific research, technology, engineering, medicine, agriculture, commerce, industry, art, and literature. Means these are the fields where we have to use good use of science and technology. Science and technology has have influenced all these fields, and so that these fields or in these fields English is used prominently, and for this purpose only we are about to add the progress, and there is progress of the world. Even Rabindranath Tagore, who wrote Gitanjali, and it was translated by someone else, and for this construction of Gitanjali, he was given or he was awarded Nobel Prize. Later on, as far as science is concerned, Raman effect was very famous, and Dr. C.V. Raman, who was known as Indian scientist, and he was Nobel laureate, and he was awarded Nobel Prize because he has he has made an experiment with light emission. Means we cannot deny the importance of English language. After that, it is the library language. Means whatever knowledge is there, means in the world, all the faculties, then all the streams, all the well-learned persons, the writers, then novelists, dramatists, they have written everything into English language. And whatever discoveries are there, then innovations are there, the knowledge of medicine, agriculture, then astronomy, mathematics, anthropology, humanity, or even literature, everything is there in English language only. So that it is the language of all above subjects. So that it is library language. Means if you want to study anthropology, the syllabus of anthropology is written in English language. Then whatever English literature is there, or whatever Indian literature is there, this literature has been translated into good English. Many poets, many dramatists, many writers are there from western part of the country and from we may say the eastern part of the world. They are contributing in the field of English by translating, by writing their languages. After that, 11, that is language of our literary development. See, if you want to get mastery over English language, then you need to read some English novels, dramas, even English short stories or stories. Then literary criticisms is there, and really Britishers have contributed a lot by giving the knowledge of Western countries to the India, and Indians have proved themselves that we are at the level of their best, and they are giving back to the society, giving back to the world by writing various literary works in English language, and it is also works in cultural role, and so that English language is a medium of instructions. Means these are the things where English is adopted. And the second question is asked that what is wrong with teaching of English in Indian schools? This is the fact. This question really describes the present situation of India or Indian schools. Means what is wrong with teaching of English? In the words of Michael West, he said that a language is not a subject which can be taught. It is a subject which must be learned. Means in India, English language is taught as a subject, but it is expected that although it is subject, but it must be learned. It must be learned. It's the duty of every teacher, every student, that they should not rely on the teaching, but they must learn themselves. And what is the wrong in teaching of English in Indian schools? The poor condition. Even right now, India is developing country, and you may see, we cannot deny the fact that there is poor condition everywhere. Means in schools, in society, about the students, about the facilities, totally poor conditions are seen. The lack of purpose. Nobody knows why should we learn English language. Means even though just I have explained all the reasons behind learning of English language, but right now even in classrooms all teachers are not telling to their students the purpose of learning this English language. And after that, there are incompetent teachers are there. Means those who have really trained teachers, they are contributing a lot. But those who are already trained but not updated, those who are not teaching from their bottom of heart, and those who are not sincere towards their profession, and so that incompetent teachers have created barriers in learning of English language, and so that this language is not learned properly in Indian schools. And after that, another reason is that the faulty methods of teaching English must be learned, yes, but faulty methods of teaching created many barriers. Means all teachers are there, even from various part of the country, they like to use grammar translation method. In this grammar translation method, teachers like to translate each and everything into their mother tongue or mother tongue of the student, so that many faulty methods are there. They don't have the proper pronunciation, they don't have proper way of teaching, they don't use teaching aids, and even they don't read more and more in English language. They never bring English at their practical level, or they never converse with each other in English language. So that faulty methods of teachings are there, faulty examination systems are there. Means on the basis of rote learning or memorizing only, the knowledge of English is evaluated, but it should not happen anywhere in the world, anywhere in India. And right now, so the syllabus has been changed, and oldest policy of examination system has been kept aside, and new policies, new techniques have been introduced in examination system. And another problem is that the overcrowded classes. You may see in this picture that only 30 students are allowed in the class, or near about 35 students. Means student will, or they will learn very actively in the class, but the class is overcrowded. The teacher will never pay attention towards personally, he will not engage himself, and he will never be satisfied with his teaching. Then there is lack of research. Why Indians are behind in learning of English language, why there are faulty methods of teaching, and where we have to establish new schools, and what type of teacher training program should be introduced or implemented. These things are for the subject of research, and in India we do see that even in teaching field, even in as far as the use of English language is concerned, there is lack of research and more interference by the parents. Means education is given as per the wish of the parents, and so that there is lot of interferences by the parents, and this is the problem. On this one, some suggestions. Teacher awareness aim of teaching means there should be organization of awareness program, and we should tell them the aim of teaching or the aims of teaching to the teachers. Training of English for the improvement. We have to give the proper training to the English teacher for their improvement in four fundamental skills or language in practical. Then there is need of introduction of courses like CIFL and RTE should be introduced. Awareness about latest technology means for overcoming such problems, teachers or student teachers have to adopt latest technology of teaching, latest technology of learning of English language, and examination should be based on listening, speaking, reading and writing skills. These four fundamental skills should be evaluated properly rather than memorizing and rote learning, because these are the skills where students can express themselves effectively, and provision of audiovisual aids so that even in colleges, even in schools, there is a lack of audiovisual aids, and it is expected that whenever teacher uses many more objects, teaching aids, audio visual aids in the class, then there is direct learning, direct experience of the content. And prescribed textbook from CIFL and NCERT experts. In India, there should be unique syllabus. Means right now we do say that the syllabus of state is different one, and syllabus of rest part of the India is different word, and so that teachers should learn what is meant by curriculum and syllabus, and we need to focus on curriculum and syllabus. Curriculum is merely framework, but actual implementation is hidden in syllabus, because as far as fulfillment of the aims of curriculum, we need to complete, we need to implement syllabus effectively in the classes. And with this, on this topic, certain questions will be asked. Such questions are there. What role does English play in India in the present circumstances? The answer of this question is depends upon your thinking ability, your reading skill and your general awareness. Then second one is that discuss English as a library language. Why English is called as library language? And third one, why English is not replaced by any other Indian languages. Certain reasons we have discussed earlier. And fourth one is that discuss the importance of English as a modern foreign language. Should it be taught in Indian schools and colleges? Means these are the applicable questions where you need to think yourself, and whatever discussion just we have had, it should be maintained, and as a student teacher or as a teachers, whatever things are discussed over there, you bring it, or you have to bring all these things in our practical life. These are some references, and I think you might have understood very well. And I would like to conclude my lecture by saying thank you very much. If you have any queries regarding this lecture, this topic or this content, you may directly contact me on my mobile number, or you may write me. There is my email ID. Thank you, dear student. Thank you very much. Thank you.